Benrahma scored 2 goals against Fulham in the League Cup earlier this year. He was playing for Brentford at the time and scored a brace in a 3-0 win for Brentford. Given that, and West Ham are now playing Fulham next, I expect you to get a hat-trick. No, I'm serious. I mean, you've already scored twice against Fulham already. You know, you're looking for your first West Ham goal. Are we going to wear the black jerseys in this? Because all that added together, Algerian Prince masterclass, I think. Make it happen, Benny. Look, I gotta say, Fulham have a really good manager in Scott Parker. He's young and he's not really afraid to change things up. He's changed things up in January to try and help Fulham survive relegation. And given that he wants to be a manager who adapts easily and has fresh ideas, a more liberally minded head coach, should we say, I think Scott Parker would be a very good manager for West Ham in the near future. It's something a lot of fans really want. I want it. A load of fans on Twitter say that they want it too. And in an ideal world, where everything is amazing and GSB aren't a thing, it would be a case where, well, what I want is Scott Parker as manager and David Moyes as director of football. You know, because Moyes has the transfer targets and Parker is a good manager. I think that would work. Please, West Ham gods, make it happen in the future. Fulham have been in a relegation battle for most of the season. They are currently in the relegation zone and have only won 2 games in the league all season. That said, there are some promising signs. They had 5 draws in a row, which is 5 points in a row obtained. And even though those aren't wins, it's still kind of good for confidence. And Fulham's confidence on the pitch has shown quite a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, Parker hasn't been afraid to change things. He's not been afraid to drop players and try out new things. Maybe add new players into the system. It's kind of worked to Fulham's advantage a bit, and they are showing some fight to stay in the Premier League. When the 2 teams last met at the London Stadium in that 1-0 win for West Ham, Fulham did do quite well in that, because in the second half they tested Fabianski. Bobby Reid had a shot at goal, and they had a lot of good work up top. So Fulham do have it in them to stay in the league. I have kind of a soft spot for Fulham. You know, a lot of West Ham players have gone to Fulham. Scott Parker's the manager. He's much loved at West Ham and Fulham. So I think both teams have quite a good mutual understanding. I don't know why it is, but when I do an opposition uncovered for a team that's in the relegation places, I always say that I want that team's goalkeeper. Fulham is one of those teams. Alphonse Areola, on loan from PSG, very underrated goalkeeper, and yeah, you probably know what I'm going to say next. I will take him at West Ham in the future. Yeah, I would. Okay, he looks solid. I think he'd be a good option to replace Fabianski. Areola's, 27, 28 right now? Still got a few years left in him, and he's even in his prime years for a goalkeeper, you could argue. Yeah, Areola, really good goalkeeper. Bobby Reid's got to be in here as well. He leads Fulham in goals this season in the Premier League. He has 5 goals in the Prem, and his last goal was in the 2-2 draw against West Brom. Bobby Reid nearly scored against West Ham when we played him in our gaff. He struck a ball quite low down and Fabianski got to it, but he looked quite threatening, especially on the right. And the way he cut into the box and had the time to take his shot, he seems like a player who's very composed with shooting. I know he missed that penalty against West Ham. I know it was a really pathetic effort. That aside, Ademola Lookman is a bright future player. The fact that he's gone from Everton to RB Leipzig was a good move for him, because that's a place where he could develop. Moyes talks about the RB Leipzig model. I think all of European football talks about how good it is, developing players from the ground up, getting them when they're young and pushing them into a young first team. Well, that's what's happening with Ademola Lookman. Although he's not getting a lot of game time at RB Leipzig, he went on loan to Fulham. And, well, he's scored 3 goals in 18 appearances for them. He's a very good player. I have to admit, and he's developing a very successful club. I've done a few opposition uncovered since I started up the channel. Every single time I've done a Fulham or Spurs preview, Scott Parker's been mentioned. Paul Konchesky's been mentioned in this kind of video. So who haven't I mentioned? Did a bit of research on this, and I can't believe I never said Tony Gale in all this time. Yeah, Tony Gale. Started his career off at Fulham in 1977 and made 277 league appearances for the club. Then he headed from west to east. Is that a correct version? Yeah, whatever. And joined West Ham. Made 300 appearances for West Ham in a 10-year stint. And was a very well-liked defender. And if you're making 300 appearances for West Ham, you are considered a club legend. A lot of people still talk about Tony Gale to this day. He left West Ham in 1994, headed up north to play for Blackburn Rovers. And after he left Blackburn, he went to play for Crystal Palace and then Maidenhead United. He retired in 1998. Since he retired, he has done a lot of media work. He's worked for Sky Sports. He also writes for West Ham's official website. We do quite well when we play Fulham at Craven Cottage. We beat them in December 2018, 2-0. I remember the game, Snodgrass with the curler and then Antonio with the tidy finish. I'm going to say 2-0 West Ham. Yeah, simple as. I said that I'd see you all in a few days. I literally recorded this a few hours after the Aston Villa aftermath. So I guess you'll see me on the same day if I choose to upload this at the same time as the other video. That was a mouthful. I had to think about that an awful lot there. But yeah, as per usual, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content. I'm going to be doing the aftermath for the Fulham game over the weekend. And I've also got a few other ventures that I'm looking into. I'm writing now for something called the Hockey Writers, which is a blog that covers the National Hockey League. I'm writing for the Vancouver Canucks, my second localish team, the one province away from me in Canada. And I'm also writing for Roots TV as well. All of that goes on my Twitter. I put all the links on there, so you can read it on there. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.